Going on, Jerome's? The boys are back in town. Well, most of the team's been here for the offseason workout program, but Vikings OTAs, first of 3 OTA sessions and 1 mandatory minicamp, kick off today, pun intended, on Monday, May 20th. And basically, next 4 weeks are going to be so much room for activities. It's going to be fantastic. So the Vikings have OTAs May 20th, May 28th, and June 10th of the weeks of. Mandatory minicamp June 4th through 6th. And what's interesting, so a lot of teams run it 3 OTAs and then the mandatory minicamp. Vikings doing it this way, incentivizing guys to show up a little bit earlier in June, as well as I think that Kevin O'Connell will give some of the veterans an extra week during the offseason and tell them after mandatory minicamp, hey, deuces, we're going to grind here the last 4 days with the young guys, and we'll see you veterans at the end of July for start of training camp. Probably what Kevin O'Connell is going to do, but it's good. Also, full disclosure, we're recording this right before the start of Wolves Nuggets, so if things don't go our way, this is the happiest that I will be. And if they do go our way, happy times lay ahead. Good times. But practice. Talk about practice. Now, will Justin Jefferson show up for the voluntary portion of OTAs? We'll see. Because last year, Justin Jefferson, he didn't show up for OTAs, and he's putting in that work privately, but also since he is on his rookie deal, he doesn't have a workout bonus attached to his contract like some of the other veterans on second and third deals. So it isn't costing him anything out of pocket. Remember, he did show up for mandatory minicamp last year, put in that work, and also didn't miss a second of training camp. So could you call it a holdout? I mean, by the letter of the law, no. But the spirit, maybe. But I think that JJ, I actually think that if the Vikings and JJ are close on the deal, like maybe he does show up and lead by example for some of these young guys on this young team. But remains to be seen. But either way, love me some Justin Jefferson. It's his decision, and he'll at minimum will be here at the beginning of June for mandatory minicamp. But we'll see. Also, we'll see. So Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. Tom Brady, Michigan man, was at a gathering. Posted on the gram. Now, he posted with like Drake May and stuff too. But J.J. McCarthy, looking good, man. Michigan to Michigan, and the GOAT, the greatest of all time, pictured here with Giselle's ex-husband. We're not doing the roast anymore. Anyways, but so J.J. McCarthy is definitely someone who mimics ideas, definitely a bit of a chameleon, samples ideas from greatness, and that's exactly what he's doing here. Like, at his disposal, he has a Michigan alum, already has that connection. He did something that Tom Brady never could do, was win a national title. Remember, when Michigan won a title with Lloyd Carr, nailed it, it was Brian Griese under center for the Wolverines. So, I mean, could McCarthy show off his Michigan national title ring, and then Tom Brady's like, hold on. Be good, man. Maybe good. But, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. J.J. McCarthy's got a pretty good 5. Per Persuasion put this together. Per Ben Gessling and Randball via Access Vikings podcast over at the Strib. Given how the schedule is laid out, they both believe Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy will likely start Week 12 with a 3-game homestand against the Cardinals, Falcons, and Bears. Oh my! They also fully expect McCarthy to start against Kirk Cousins in the matchup against the Falcons. So basically, what they're saying is Sam Darnold will win the job. He'll keep the job, but not play well enough to hold on to the job throughout the season. Now, I think there's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts there, but you do see it where you have that 3-game homestand at the beginning of December with the Cardinals, Falcons, Bears, and then McCarthy gets the last 6 games. You get a look at him. But I'm not discounting the fact that McCarthy could win the job out of camp. Like, I do think that Sam Darnold is going to have a big-time opportunity with the weapons as well as with Kevin O'Connell and McCown here. But I just feel like the floor with McCarthy is so high that he may shine in preseason and camp and just force the issue with Kevin O'Connell, where it's like, hey, Ty is going to go to Darnold. Everyone knows that. But what if McCarthy through no fault of Darnold. Like, say Darnold looks good, but McCarthy just looks that much better. It's gonna be hard to keep him off the field. And I think that waiting until week 13, it might be a bit of a stretch at this point. Also with JJ. So over the weekend, rookies were at the NFLPA Rookie Premiere, taking pictures for trading cards and whatnot. And it was the first time seeing him in full kit. I mean, obviously the photoshops are there. Obviously the rookie mini camp in shells at practice was there. But this looks good. This looks so good. Looking like an absolute alpha, a true leader of men. Can't wait to get it going. Also, Dallas Turner. I think Dallas Turner is going to shock a lot of people because Dallas Turner is a damn good football player right now, but he is so far from his peak that it's not even funny. Like a guy that's got so much raw talent, a guy that's been productive at the highest levels of college, a guy that's still growing into his body and adding to his weaponry of skills. I think that Dallas Turner is just going to be an absolute stud. I love it, man. Speaking of absolute studs, so in free agency, the Vikings revamping that second line of defense with Blake Cashman outside. How about that? Jonathan Grenard, as well as Andrew Van Ginkel, former Dolphin, former Brian Flores guy, former stupid Badger, but don't hold that against him. But I do think that AVG could be an X factor on defense for the Vikings. Vikes fan page puts this together. Vikings edge rusher Andrew Van Ginkel was the 8th highest rated edge rusher according to PFF last season, 91.2. Can't wait to see him reunite with Brian Flores. Now, what's interesting about Van Ginkel is that he had a 17% pressure rate. He put up a number of sacks, as well as he was a volume guy in terms of tackles the last couple of years. So, like, AVG really does do it all. Like, he is a dirty work, off-ball linebacker. He can cover. He can rush the passer. And that versatility is going to really be fun with Flores, who obviously is very familiar with him, and using it just to mix things up so offenses don't know what's going to go on. Like, where is AVG going to be? Is it going to be in coverage? Is it going to be a rush? Is it going to do what? So I can't wait to see it, man. So I do think that Andrew Van Ginkel, again, stupid Badger, but has been highly productive in the Flores defense, and I think that he, to a degree, could he be a joker? A lot like Josh Metellus as Flores adapts his new defense to his personnel. Yes, I certainly do think so. Something I also thought. So, I mean, David Johnson was that dude. And if you play fantasy football, like, you knew that David Johnson was that guy. But fortunately, injuries really took a toll on DJ, and he is announcing that he's retiring from the NFL after 8 seasons. Didn't play last year. But he was with the New Orleans Saints in 2022 after his run with the Cardinals, ended up with the Texans. But, I mean, people forget that 2016 season, 1,239 yards rushing, 16 touchdowns, 80 catches for 879 and 4 touchdowns through the air. Like, he really was that alpha running back one. But it just seems like in the NFL and with fantasy football, like, the shelf life of a workhorse running back, just like that. Pretty crazy, but respect David Johnson. So fortunate about injuries, but the pride of Northern Iowa, whatever's next, we're rooting for him, man. Also rooting for him. So I didn't know that we have a month, but it's Asian American Pacific Islander month, and over Reddit they put together a great piece of all the Asian Pacific Islanders in the National Football League currently. So, I mean, you could go way back, like Ed Wang, Dat Win, Timmy Chang had a cup of coffee with the Lions, getting things done, man. But first off, I need to say thank goodness for the Samoans and the Tongans, because otherwise it would be like Tua against the world. I don't know, man. But what's interesting, so Penei Sewell, obviously. Jerome Malata, yes. Puka Nacua, obviously. Josh Jacobs, I didn't know. Part Filipino. We'll take that. Tua, yes. Kyler Murray, as well as Sling and Sam Howell, both part South Korean. Young-Ho Koo, we got the kicking game on lock. It's fantastic. Defensively, of course, Cam Beasley represent the Philippines. Also, Kyle Hamilton apparently is part South Korean. So now I understand the hate and vitriol that Kwesi got for passing him up, because they could have had my countrymen. It happens, man. Also, I feel like, so with the Tongans and the Samoans, I feel like we're actually pretty good in the trenches, especially like nose tackle. I mean, we're good to go. I mean, Penei Sewell, come on. Come on, man. Let's go. But yeah, it certainly is interesting. Lot of Asians starting to take over. I think that the NFL going international, I think certainly will grow the borders of the game. You start to see a lot more international players, and hey, more players, more interests, higher salaries. Man, could you imagine how much a ticket would cost for the Qatar Jaguars once they move? I don't know. Who knows, man? But OTAs start today. Practice. Talk about practice. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.